You read how many blueberries, how much kale, how much celery, how much,
the noise.
All these things you're supposed to ingest by a certain time every day. And I just looked at this. I said, this is impractical. You need to know, how does your body function? What works and what doesn't? My mindset is that now is it.
I love that.
It's not yesterday, and I can't guarantee anything tomorrow. If I'm in the present and I'm authentic and I have a purpose, maybe that purpose is what we're doing here, which is trying to help people realize what the options are out there.
Right.
That's it.
Please join me in welcoming Jane Seymour to the show. You know, I've had a lot of incredible moments in my career, but this is a true pinch me moment. I cannot wait for all of you to meet my next guest. My next guest is someone I watched growing up on television. I admired for your beauty and even just for your overall presence and your acting, obviously. So welcome to the show. Welcome to Whole Plus, Jane. I have with me today Jane Seymour. You have so many accomplishments. It'll probably take me a whole another episode to go through all of those. But I just want to get right into it. You are 73 years old. You just told me you're about to turn 74.
I'm just about to turn 74. My birthday's February 15th, so...
I think you're such a testament to age is just a number. I know we get tired of that cliche, but I want you to tell us how you have remained so energetic, so youthful, so still going at it. You just told me all the different projects you have lined up coming up in the next few months and years ahead. Yeah. You're not done, right?
I am so not done. And I'm also so incredibly grateful because I've been allowed, fairly uniquely, not many of us, to age gracefully in a, in a career where how you look
is everything.
Is pretty much everything. Yeah. And to actually be hired to act in great projects as a woman my age, but looking like the best woman my age I can be. And I think, I'm fortunate to do this, not just because I've been doing it for a while and might be useful at it, but I think it's because I'm authentic. So, when people see me in my series Harry Wild, for example, they see me get angry, upset, play comedy, the rest of it. I mean, everything moves. And so it would not be good for me to not look like, myself. But I do work from, 5 in the morning. I'm up every day. I'm lucky if I'm back by 8 o'clock at night, and then I'm learning 9 pages for the next day.
Wow.
So, and I have half an hour off for lunch, in which they usually have me either being interviewed or, doing something, a costume change or something. People don't understand the stamina it takes to do what I do. And so that's why meeting you and hearing about what you're doing and being part of this is so exciting for me.
Oh, I couldn't be more honored, and I'm thrilled to have you here. But I'll be honest, I meet people every single day who are like, I'm just tired. I don't have the energy. Or here's the classic line that I hear over and over again in my exam rooms. It must be because I'm getting old. That has to be the reason why. And I'm even hearing, honestly, I'm hearing 30-year-olds tell me that. So we have a problem with health and wellness here, not just in the United States, but I would argue globally. We have a problem with how we perceive aging and what aging really means. I spend a lot of time merging Eastern and Western medicine together. And in those systems of medicine, aging was kind of a gift. You became a mentor, you became a confidant, you helped others below you, and you had an identity, right? It wasn't that you were done and you were old. But I think what we've seen historically, especially with women, is that this idea that you're done. You hit menopause and you're done, you hit 60 and you're done, you hit 70 and you're done. How did you fight that? Like, did you ever feel that way? Did you ever have a period in your sort of career or your life where you felt that way, that you were quote unquote getting old?
Oh, absolutely. Normally in an actress's career, that if you've had the opportunity of actually having some success, which I have had. I mean, if you haven't had success before you're 40, it's really hard. But after 40, it seems to be sort of the cutoff date.
You're done.
Yes, and I definitely did see contracts go away, roles go away. But then I got this little thing called Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Which I watched.
Which you watched. And for some reason, I was 40 at the time, and for some reason I was able to play 30. And everyone around me, mostly male actors who've done series, said, Jane, don't do it. You'll never have the stamina. Being a woman in a 1-hour series, outdoors and all of that, for 10 months of the year, you just can't do it. And I didn't have a choice at that time. You know, I'd gone through a terrible divorce. I was left beyond bankrupt, and I needed to work. And I'd also been told that when I did this little movie, that it would never be a series because it was a woman in the lead.
Right.
Doesn't work. A doctor. No one's interested in doctors. You know, the Wild West and family values. So that was like tick off of like, we can make this and guarantee it won't. But they did have me sign a 5-year contract. And then the rest is history. It's still playing in 98 countries.
It's an amazing show. Yeah.
So I think when you're asking how do you do it, having been given that gift, it was hard to have the energy to do that. And I was, of course, still raising children, and I didn't know where I was going to live. I mean, there were a lot of other things going on. But I think the camaraderie of the people I worked with, the fact that every day I looked around and they actually relied on me showing up. Some of them would actually thank me. They'd just say, "Oh, thank you for being healthy and coming to work today." I go,
Thank
"Oh
you
God,
for
that's
being
my
healthy.
job. Thank you for
I
being
love that.
healthy." And then I realized I'd broken the glass ceiling without trying. And now I'm in my 70s, and at 70, again, I broke another glass ceiling. Nobody works at that age. And I got my own show called Harry Wild, and we've finished our 4th season.
Amazing.
So I think it's attitude. I think it's can do. And I think the principal thing for me, it's about body, mind, and spirit.
Yes. She's
I
speaking
have
our
to
language.
be.
I love it.
Well, it is. I mean, I am a doctor's daughter, so we were sharing a little bit before this. My father was an OBGYN, so obviously he dealt with menopause and fertility. That was his specialty. He had a lot of women doctors who he trained, and I think I love what I do. So I think having a passion and being able to pursue it, whether you can do it for your job or you just do it as a hobby, whatever it is. I love to paint. I love to create. I love to help other people. I work with the nonprofit that I helped start. And you're talking about being older, and that's in the culture of being the grandmother. Now you give the wisdom.
Right.
I find myself in that situation all the time, and so I want to actually be up to date with what the wisdom is. I want to read and find out what's working, what isn't, because everything's changing in science and in nutraceuticals. So I want to see.
Know.
I want to know.
Yeah.
And I also look around me and I see so many people who kind of, I think, overdid it with the exercise, and they're all having knee replacements, hip replacements, shoulder replacements.
I mean, one of the
insane.
It's crazy, and but one of the things that I think I keep seeing over and over again is people don't have a mission, they don't have a passion. But sometimes they do. Sometimes they know they want to do X, Y, and Z. I want to take care of my grandchildren. I want to start a new business. I want to go to law school. These are real stories that I hear from women all the time. But they don't have the energy. They don't have the ability to put that plan into action to get to point A to point B and to move beyond that. And a lot of times I find myself talking about, well, let's look at your chemistry. Let's see what's going on. Maybe there's a block there. Maybe it's not necessarily a mental block or an emotional block, but you have a physical block of some kind that we're so quick to dismiss as aging, And when we start doing that work and we start shifting and making changes there, whether it's in their nutrients or how they eat or how they take care of themselves, then it's almost like, I talk about this and it sounds woo-woo, but it's so true. It's almost like the portal's open. You have the visions, the ability, the stamina, the determination to do that which you're meant to do.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you? You are living, let me just say this one thing. I feel like when I listen to you talk, it's how I hope I'll be, by the time I hit 73 or 74. But I hear the same passion, the same vitality, the same zest for life, that I feel like I have right now. How do you live your daily life? What's the routine, the regimen that to stay true to keep that energy and that vibration going at all times?
Well, first of all, my mindset is that now is it. It's not yesterday.
I love that. Now is it.
Yeah. And it's not yesterday, and I can't guarantee anything tomorrow. I can make plans, but I always have to know that I might have to alter the plans or accept, that something's not going to work, whatever it is. But if I'm in the present and I'm authentic and I have a purpose, maybe that purpose is what we're doing here, which is trying to help people realize, what the options are out there.
Right.
That's it. So my day is I tend to get up in the morning quickly because that's my job.
You're a morning person.
I have to be any time of day person. So people talk about jet lag or having to get up early or work nights or whatever. I got over that a long time ago. I give myself 8 hours sleep. So whatever I have to do in life, and work, I do the clock backwards and I say, okay, at this time, whether I am sleepy or not, I will be in bed.
So you are a stickler about sleep.
I try really, really hard to do that. And I think because I do that, and because I also know how to do some sort of relaxation exercises or kind of tell my body, it's time. This is what we're doing. And I don't panic if I wake up in the middle of the night. I go, oh my God, I'm awake now. I can't go to sleep.
No, that happens so often, by the way.
So
many people have that.
And it happens to me too, but I just go, thank you, Jane. You pick up War and Peace or a document from the lawyer that you can't understand. That will put you to sleep immediately. Yeah. So I get up quite quickly. I have to, otherwise if I fall asleep again, I'm done. I sometimes just to wake up I need a black coffee or a black tea, just something without any lactose or anything in it. I sometimes try not to eat too much in the morning. I like to have a kind of an overnight intermittent fasting regime so that my body gets to shut off at a certain time and reoperate when it's had time to, regenerate. I don't know what you think about that whole thing, but I try. Then, of course, I take my supplements, and until very recently, it was boxes full of supplements. It was like, oh my God, where do I start? And which one's better than which? And all these capsules, and are they actually going into my body or are they dispersing? And then you read how many blueberries, how much kale, how much celery, how much
the noise,
the noise of all these things you're supposed to ingest by a certain time every day. And I just looked at this. I said, this is impractical. So I wanted to find a way that I could support my immune system, do everything I could for beauty, because my skin is everything. And I've already been doing skin from the outside. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything that I could from the inside, apart from drinking, obviously, plenty of water. And so I take care of that. And then I try to work out if I have time. And if I don't have time, I used to dance. I do some pliés. Like if I'm on the set, they'll suddenly see me, doing some pliés, some stretches. And they go, what are you doing, Jane? I said, don't worry about it. It's my gym on the side. On Dr. Quinn, I used to have this elastic band that I put around my ankles.
You do those on the side?
Well, I would put wear my frock on Dr. Quinn.
Yeah.
And they'd think, why is she behaving like a crab with pages of dialogue?
Right.
And I was doing my side steps with an elastic band around my ankles.
Amazing.
I know, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then what I do if I can work out is I get some weights, 5 or 8 pound weights. And I do, the normal weight things. If I can't get weights, I go to a sideboard or anywhere that's not going to fall over, and I do dips and things with my own body weight. Then I know, because I have had a bad back in the past, and like we were talking about, you need to know, how does your body function? What works and what doesn't? I know that if I suddenly turn to the left or the right, pick something heavy up, I'm useless.
You're useless.
So I have to learn how to pick things up, how to get up, how to climb things, jump off things. I know what my body can do, and I have to do anything I can, whether it's a yoga pose or isometrics or just, some crunches, to do it meticulously so I don't injure myself whilst trying to maintain. But number one, I would say, is core. So one of the things I want to point out, though, is, you have, again, this passion, this energy, this vitality. Yeah.
But at the same time, it sounds like you know your body and you know yourself and your chemistry. And you're actually practicing a lot of what now research is coming out with and recommending, right? That moving all throughout the day is more important than these like very intense heavy workouts, right? Not doing super heavy lifting and using your own body weight becomes very important after 50, because for many women they will injure or hurt themselves.
Yeah.
You're indirectly, kind of tackling these concepts around blood sugar regulation and metabolism and inflammation. But it sounds like you're doing this on your own, through your own understanding of what your body needs. How would you advise somebody, maybe who's listening or watching us today, how do they get to that level of assessing kind of their own body, how they can answer what their own body is needing and desiring? Because what's really happening is what you described earlier, where there's 20 different supplement bottles. There's the latest workout trend. They're fasting. Wait, they're not fasting. They're doing keto. No, we're not doing keto anymore. Now we're doing the anti-inflammatory. You know what I mean? And so for people, their heads are spinning, but it sounds like you've got it figured out. How do we get there?
Well, I've always felt that less is more. And I've always felt that, certainly for my, the way I am, having a very strict regimen of only this and only eat that and only do this at certain times, and that doesn't really work. I need to know how my body works, and I need to know what normal is, or normal for me at this time is. I also need to know what my injuries have been or what my weak spots are. I know exactly what they are from previous ailments, and I have to be proactive about it. So I have to take supplements that I know will support those parts of my body. I have to know how to talk to a doctor, because there's this whole thing of being invisible. You're a woman over 50 and you're invisible. They don't even listen to you.
Right. Unfortunately.
So you have to know
how
to
We're
talk.
We're going to change that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. They are changing it, actually.
Yeah,
But, it's also giving a woman the rights to actually speak up for themselves, to say, yes, I hear what you're saying, but that's not actually how my body functions. This is how it functions. So what can we do with this? And then listen and hear and be willing to try something new and different. But I think it's, as you rightly said, it's an all-day thing. It's not a one-off exercise. But I do find that we're all terribly busy, and we don't necessarily have time to eat all those things. So I was so excited when we came up with the idea with Body Firm of coming up with phytonutrients, and we've got this special way of doing it. We've got amazing ingredients, and I've taken the green stuff and all the rest of it, and I go, oh, do I really have to do that? But I happen to like green stuff, but this, it tasted delicious, and I went, okay, so one and done. That is my thing. I want to get up in the morning. I want to do what I need to do for myself, sip it down, and then just know, okay, you've done it now. Whatever else you eat today, it'd be great if you ate a good Mediterranean diet, but if you don't, you have just covered an enormous number of
essential
nutrients. And they're the right ones, and they've got, they're particularly good. They're better than other ones that are out there, and you're not dealing with a box fulls of
stuff to take,
stuff that you don't understand.
We're both Body Firm brand ambassadors.
Yes.
And for everyone, watching and listening right now, tell them what Body Firm is. They might not even know what we're talking about.
Okay, so Body Firm is a company that what we do is we've come up with, we have two products, basically. One is Crepe Erase, which I've been using for, oh my God, we've both been using I've been using it for 15 years or something crazy, 10, 15 years. I've lost count, but I wouldn't live without it. And people literally stop me wherever I go, and they have to touch my skin and whatever. And then I was talking to them about, what can we do about this thing of, I want to be healthy. I don't know the answer to all of these vitamins. I can't believe I need to take that many. How can I possibly eat all these blueberries and kale and everything on a daily basis, especially when I'm traveling in a place that doesn't have blueberries and kale? So, or, the antioxidants and the blood oranges, which we have that are so fantastic. Mediterranean blood oranges, I might say. Not those American ones. I just thought, well, let me see. Is there a way that I can do it and be done? And so, we found it, and I'm using it, and it's working
And you
for
use
me
it every day?
every single day. I now have a male partner. I said, no, this is for women over 50. He said, no, it's
I
for
have
me
some?
too. I'm a doctor. It's working. I'm having it too. So, and he also stole the crepe race, by the way. So,
Oh, of course. They always do.
they all do. So I think this is great for people,
Right.
not just women. But, we are women, and we're talking about the species that actually traditionally cares about how they look, how their skin is, how we age, and what can we do that is good for our skin inside and out.
And I love that you've wound together the mind, body, and spirit as we're having this conversation around healthy aging and still being passionate well beyond 70 even. One of the things that, going back to this idea that people get blocked, right? That's what I see over and over again. And even though they desire to do things, they don't have the physical energy to do that, or they're hurting themselves a lot. I start to go a little doctory on some of that. I can give you all the chemical terms for that. Well, it's because you've got mitochondrial dysfunction and inflammation and all this other stuff. But essentially what aging really is, it is where the body is not getting what it needs. That essentially is really what it is if we want to simplify it down. So everything slows down, but just because it's slowing down, it does not mean it has to be that way. So this whole idea around supplementation, you'll see a lot of traditional doctors say, you don't need supplements, food has everything, it could possibly need to help you. And we know that's simply not true. And it's not true for a number of different reasons based on food quality, the style of living that we all engage in these days, and really the exposure that we have to the elements is completely different. We're sitting here after, much of California has been through the fires. There's a higher supplement need after these major issues and trauma in life. And I think one of the things I love about something like a product that's very simple and easy to take is that you're getting a mega dose of antioxidants right away. And I think it is difficult to remember to take all the different things all the time. So what would you say to the person? I know many women and men actually who say, well, I don't need supplements. I eat healthy. Or I can't remember to take my supplements, or all that stuff is, garbage, that type of thing. And that message gets reinforced oftentimes in the exam room. What would you say to them?
I would say open your eyes and your ears, be open-minded to what's really working. And try it, because if you try it and it's that easy to do and it tastes great and you start feeling better, to me, that is the science you really need.
That's enough,
People
right?
say, well, what's the science? Well, the science is you now feel better and you look better. Okay, well, that's a good start, isn't it? So when the doctor says, or when you come to me and you say, why are you the Energizer bunny? Why do you, why are you not doing facials or Botox or anything, and your skin looks great? It's because it is from the inside out, and it's supplemented with what I do on the outside to protect the skin from the suns and UV rays and all of that. So it's what I love about it. It's one and done.
You can't forget it.
Can't forget it. You get up in the morning, you're going to brush your teeth, you're going to drink the supplement, and now you get on with your day. And now you know that if you don't manage to, if you're working somewhere where they only have fast food, and you literally cannot get, I have been to parts of America where I haven't seen fresh food.
Isn't it crazy?
It's insane.
There are food
we could do a whole show about
We should go on the road.
the poisons
We should go
in
on
our
the road.
food. We should go on the road. You are being poisoned by fast food,
Yeah,
okay?
definitely.
But I don't want to go against fast food. I'm just saying that if you're in those circumstances, that's why this is so brilliant. Because it's one and done. You've got it. You've got everything you need that you could be grown in my garden. I don't know if you know about this, but I actually grow. I grow all my fruits and vegetables in my garden.
Didn't
Yes,
know that.
yes, without any, anything. It's just all
Amazing.
pure, organic. I even have my own chickens.
Oh my gosh.
They're so free range. They only make little tiny eggs,
Oh my
usually
gosh,
green and
that's
blue and funny,
incredible.
funky
well,
little
that
colors.
food quality is probably different than what you're picking up at the local grocery store.
100%. People
Yeah.
can't believe it. When
Yeah.
I serve lettuce
Yeah.
or arugula from my garden, people go, wait a minute, this actually tastes like something. It's not just like water, crispy
Full of
water.
Antioxidants.
And the tomatoes, they go nuts about, and the kale and the blueberries. And yes, it's fantastic. It's fantastic that I can grow these. But even though I grow them, I still am in a hurry sometimes. And I realize that I haven't had time to make that smoothie or do what it is that, I feel I need for the day. But now I've got my, my supplement, and I do it in one. I mix it immediately, drink it immediately. It's literally solves all my issues with my wellness
I think
for the day.
It's incredible. And I think that, one of the things I'm hearing as I'm listening to you speak is that health is a priority for you, and living a healthy lifestyle is a priority for you. And I think that, for so many people that starts to go to the bottom of the list, and they don't understand the toll that takes on the people around them and also on their communities and even in the workplace, right? You said your crew on the Pioneer one was saying, thank you for being healthy. What if we walked around saying that to each other all the time? Thank you for being healthy, and what a difference that would make,
especially kids and grandchildren to a grandmother. Totally. I have grandchildren who say, they call me Oma, and they love the fact that I can jump and swim and do fun things, play some tennis, whatever. I mean, obviously not as hard and fast as their mother can, who's a super athlete, but they see me making healthy choices. And they've seen their mother making healthy choices. And so they understand. It's not a question about you can't eat this, or you mustn't do that, or you've got to be on a diet, or you have to do this much exercise. It's more a holistic...
Just infusing
like
I love that.
Good habits. And if you can find something that easily takes care of one of those good habits without you ever thinking about it. I'm on an airplane, doesn't matter what time of day, I can take this, throw it down there, and I know that if I end up not eating the airplane meal, that's probably not very good for me anyway, I've done what I need to do. So I want to be, like you, in the responsible suggestion of how you can take what we know in science and in nature and put it together.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing beats being able to go in one of those machines where they look at your body and they can tell you right away, by the way, something's going on here in your kidneys or in your lungs or something. Thank God for that. I wouldn't want to be back in Dr. Quinn days.
No, not at all.
No, we got a leather strap and boiled water for having babies.
Oh my gosh.
That wouldn't go down today, would it?
No, and the mission of Whole Plus, of the show and the platform and all of it, is to bring science and spirit together, bring the technology with these other ways of living and being. And I think you're such a great representation of that. Now, I will say, where I see many people start to trip when they think that way, there's a lot of guilt, like, well, I can't go get Botox, or, there's a lot of debate with, well, how holistic should I be, or how, like, in the modern world, or how much tech should I use? Again, how do you navigate that? Like you've mentioned, when it comes to beauty, you've chosen not to go down the road. You're in Hollywood. We're sitting in Hollywood, and you've chosen not to go down the road of Botox and fillers and facelifts and all these different things, and they're widely available. You at the same time have a career that demands that you're on camera, right? So how do you reconcile, this desire to be that holistic person, to be this person that, really embraces, all these different healthy living lifestyle, but in a career or in a fishbowl, so to speak, where there's a really big standard when it comes to how you look?
Well, it's a very interesting question, but first of all, I look at the big picture. If I'm 73, or almost 74, why would I think that I would be playing a 40-year-old or a 30-year-old? I'm not.
Right.
If I can keep myself well, I can definitely play 50 or 60. So I want to be the best me that I can be. I have tried Botox, and because I tried it, I know that it doesn't work for me. I mean, yes, it's great because suddenly, you've got this, polished face and nothing moves. But if you're an actress and you're trying to have an expression, or if you're a human being in love with somebody or upset with somebody, they don't know. No, I don't like that. You don't? Oh, you don't appear to really not like it. You're just like, anyway, whatever. I can joke about it, but. And I'm also just, when we worry about whether something has gluten in it or dairy in it, why are we not questioning?
That's so funny.
Botulism. Okay,
so
all right. So, and I'm not going against anyone wanting to do any of the above. at the end, you still need to be healthy from the inside out.
Absolutely.
So if you choose to do something, that requires surgery or whatever, and that makes you feel good about yourself, go for it. But you're still going to need to have the antioxidants, the vitamins. You're going to have some kind of program to be beautiful and healthy from the inside out, because when you're not healthy, it shows on your face right away, on your skin, basically.
And I would say these concepts are not, divorced from each other. Energy and beauty go together.
Yes.
And energy is driven by your chemistry, your nutritional chemistry, your passion for life, your purpose, your spirit, all those different things. Beauty is actually, I was thinking about this the other day. We all think of beauty as this goal to kind of get to, right? Like getting an A on a test. Well, I'm going to go get X, Y, and Z so that I'm quote unquote meeting beauty standards. Beauty is actually more of a feeling. And when that energy is there within you, it translates to beauty. And I think if we can start to change the definition around that, I think that's why we are in awe of you, right? It's beauty because it's energy in motion. It's not just like this one-dimensional view of who you are. So, that's so important. Now is it, and it's all connected, and your energy is everything. And I think I would just encourage everybody, to understand that being healthy is a gift, and we have to pursue it just like you would pursue anything else. And I couldn't be more aligned, with that philosophy, and you're such a great example of all of that.
Well, thank you. The other thing I thought about is once you try it and you realize it works for you and people are going, wow, that works. Just think of the times you need to give a gift to someone, or you want to give a gift to someone.
That is a good gift for everyone.
It's a great gift.
They
can take it with them wherever they go. It's not like flowers that die or an outfit that doesn't fit you anymore.
Or a gift that you're not going to use.
Or a gift you're not going to use.
Right,
This you will use, and so will the whole family.
I love that. So I have one last question for you. What makes you whole?
I think living with an open heart and an open mind, having a purpose in life, and feeling that I am using the gifts that I was given, in my case, the ability to come and talk to someone like you or to talk to the world about what I have learned through the privilege of being around some of the best in terms of beauty, in terms of health, in terms of fitness, and just feeling like I can share that and put it out there, and maybe be some sort of beacon of hope.
I love that. I love it. Well, I've admired you forever.
Thank you.
I'm so honored that you have been on our show. I think you do embody the spirit of Whole Plus, which is really bringing both science and spirit together. And I think that for anybody out there who's just lost, I hope you watch and listen to this episode and know your next steps. And thank you again for being here.
Thank you.